Hey guys, don't forget to use my link in the description below for this cool, durable survival flashlight. It's 1200 lumens bright. You don't need batteries because it's powered by the sun. You get this compass so that you know where you're going. You can charge your cell phone with it. It's got multi-function flashing modes. It's got a little hammer. You can hang it by this little magnet right here. You can cut things with it. It's just a cool, durable survival flashlight. If you use my link in the description below, you'll get 50% off the regular price.
How do you know when you've revealed the soft underbelly of your armored enemy? How do you know you're getting close to the target? Specifically, a target that wants to dominate the conversation, control the narrative, and push a globalist agenda. Here's how you know. They go out of their way to slander you, make up stories about you, and twist your words to get rid of you. And then they lie by telling people it's for your protection. While they say they're for free speech, they want to protect you from hate speech. They don't want you to know it, but mainstream media is in panic mode. They are being dominated, and I mean almost completely dominated, by competing forces who've taken up the mantle of journalism and have run with it on social media as independent, on-the-ground journalists. And while corporate media newsrooms spend a king's ransom on buildings, studios, lighting, audio equipment, sound rooms, editors, producers, publishers, and news actors, these independent journalists are getting a lot of real news out to the public from their kitchen tables, from their cars, from their garages, and even from their bedrooms. Funded by shoestring budgets and armed with cell phone cameras and microphones duct taped to wooden spoons, individuals who are sick and tired of mainstream media lying to the people have decided to take to the streets to find out what the hell's really going on, and they're reporting on it through social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. These enterprising people who have a passion for facts and a disdain for fake news and the government media propaganda machine have leveraged the power of the internet. That great equalizer which makes information available to anybody, anywhere, and at any time. Can you picture it? The skyscraper-sized behemoth called mainstream or legacy media, which has dominated the airwaves for decades with its virtually unlimited revenue stream, government-subsidized backing, and CIA influence, is being brought to its knees by underfunded individuals with a smartphone, a kitchen table, and an internet connection. Oh, and coffee. Lots of coffee. It must be truly embarrassing and humiliating. You got people like Lauren Southern, Tim Pool, Styx Hexenhammer, Sargon of Akkad, We Are Change, Computing Forever, Black Pigeon Speaks, Roaming Millennial, Steven Crowder, Mark Dice, SGT Report, X22 Report, The Still Report, Truthstream Media, The Corbett Report, Pockets of the Future, A Call for an Uprising, Really Graceful, Black Pilled, Blackstone Intelligence, Enter the Stars Reloaded, Ken O'Keefe, and Project Veritas, just to name a few, all fighting to bring truth to light and hold power to account for its many transgressions. And then, of course, there's the target for the experimental pilot program of unbridled corporate media censorship, Alex Jones. The reason they've united and, yes, conspired against Alex Jones is to scare you into shutting up. And it's crazy because the proponents of censorship are too hoodwinked to realize what's actually going on. The powers that shouldn't be in social and mainstream media are cutting everybody off from their ability to choose what they want to see and what they want to listen to. And they're doing it because they're scared. They're scared of losing market share, they're scared of losing viewers, and most of all, they're scared of losing advertisers, money, and power. And it's with that backdrop of media fear that I want to take a look at a couple quick clips. Here's the first one.
Is your Twitter feed sick? These days, harassment, hate speech, and misinformation are poisoning social media.
CNN's Brian Stelter is saying that harassment, hate speech, and misinformation is what's making your Twitter feed sick. And being the good guy that he is, he's gonna see what he can do to help make your Twitter feed well again. You know, because corporate media cares about you as a person.
And Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey seems to know this. He's trying to cure Twitter of these ills, but how?
Let's see, how can we censor the content people want to see so that we can be the only game in town again? How can we protect people from harassment, hate speech, and misinformation? Hey, let's go see Jack Dorsey, one of the heads of the biggest social media platforms on the planet. Maybe, just maybe, we can plant a seed in his mind to get him to eliminate our competition. Get him to protect people with censorship.
At a rare interview at Twitter headquarters in San Francisco, I asked him, what is broken about Twitter today?
What the hell is wrong with you people?
What is broken about Twitter? I think it really depends on who you follow and your perception of what you see and how you feel about that. There's a lot of emphasis today on politics Twitter, and politics Twitter tends to be pretty divisive, and it tends to be pretty contentious, and you see a lot of outrage, and you see a lot of unhealthy debate that you probably want to walk away from tangibly. If you go to other Twitters, like NBA Twitter or K-pop Twitter, you see the complete opposite. You see a lot of empowering conversation. So we do have a lot of focus right now on some of the negative things given the current environment. And
okay, let me just stop this guy's rambling. I know it looks like he just crawled out from under a bridge on K Street, but don't let this guy fool you. This guy is a power broker. As of the making of my video right here, he has an estimated net worth of $5.5 billion freaking dollars. And he's still recognized as one of the top 800 richest people in the entire world, coming in at number 766 today. Guys, if Twitter was my company and I had that kind of position in this world, I wouldn't be sitting in the beta male back seat as Brian Stelter drove the conversation. This all seems very staged to me. This Dorsey guy is not stupid. He built a multi-billion-dollar empire. I'm sure any one of us would be like, what the hell do you mean by broken, Brian? Explain to me what you mean by Twitter is broken. And for this guy to fumble around with these politically correct word choices and phrases, and to use all these cliquish snowflake buzzwords is just pathetic.
I believe it's important to see those. I believe it's important to see the dark areas of society so that we can acknowledge and we can address them. And I think the only way to address them is through conversation. But it is hard, especially when it feels toxic and you want to walk away from it.
You want to walk away from it? Then why don't you just let people walk away from it? It's as easy as closing an app or not reading what's in a post. Nobody's making anyone listen to hate speech. Nobody's making anyone listen to harassment.
What about incentives that encourage the extremes, encourage polarization?
Stelter's like, come on, Jack, what about this? My network is suffering. Individuals are using your platform to become more popular than my entire company.
Just backing up a bit, like when we started the company and the service 12 years ago, we weren't necessarily thinking about some of the repercussions from our actions.
Wait a minute, is that really true? Listen to what Facebook's founding president Sean Parker had to say about their intentions in creating their social media platform and the Instagram platform.
To really understand it, that thought process was all about how do we consume as much of your time and conscious attention as possible. And that means that we need to sort of give you a little dopamine hit every once in a while because someone liked or commented on a photo or a post or whatever. And that's going to get you to contribute more content, and that's going to get you, more likes and comments. I mean, it's a social validation feedback loop that it's like it's exactly the kind of thing that a hacker like myself would come up with, because you're exploiting a vulnerability in human psychology. And I think that the inventors, creators, and it's me, it's Mark, it's the Kevin Systerman, Instagram, it's all of these people understood this consciously, and we did it anyway.
They knew it was going to exploit people, and they did it anyway. So I wonder how honest Dorsey's being right here. Now check this out.
We thought, well, people are following you, so we should count them, and then we should put that count right on your profile page, and Obviously people care about that, so we should make it big. But that one small choice, and it felt very small at the time and it felt obvious at the time, put an incentive to grow that number. Is that the right attention? Is that the right incentive that we should be driving? I don't think it is today. I don't think it matters as much in context of how many conversations you have or how much you contribute back to the network.
You see what he's saying here? He's saying he doesn't think it's right to display the number of followers a person has on Twitter. And stick around, because Stelter's gonna cling to this like flies on crap.
We were asked a question, what if you could what if you could measure the health of a conversation? And we think we can, because we all know when we've been in a conversation that has felt toxic, that we want to walk away from.
Then wouldn't the answer be to leave the conversation alone and let people walk away if they want to?
And that's an indicator. We've been in conversations that don't feel toxic, that feel empowering, that we want to stay in. That's an indicator.
Then let's leave those people alone to stay in the conversation. Why would you even need an indicator? Besides, all this measuring the health of the conversation business sounds like if we feel that the conversation's turning toxic, we're gonna intervene.
We're asking ourselves the question, like, how do we earn people's trust? It's actually one of our operating principles, which is earn people's trust.
You wanna earn my trust? Leave me alone to say and to read whatever I want. Bam! Trust factor established. Now check this part out.
And we do that because we realize that more and more people have fear of companies like ours, and the perceived power that companies like ours have over how they live and even think every single day. And that is not right, and it is not fair.
Well, you're right that a lot of Americans, a lot of people around the world, fear the power of these Silicon Valley giants. Are they right to fear your power? Do you feel as powerful as they think you are?
This is a hilarious question, because you're looking at a person who fears the power of social media because it actually threatens his job security. When you have a guy sitting at his kitchen table on social media getting more likes, comments, and shares than Brian Stelter with a multi-billion-dollar corporation behind him, CEOs of companies start to look at that and say, you know, maybe we've got the wrong guy in there. Here's your termination letter, Brian.
I think you see a brunt of the negativity. Like our journalists.
You meaning journalists?
Journalists get an unfair dosing of a lot of the contention just based on
everyone's a media critic.
Everyone's a media critic.
This part is hilarious to me. Now we're getting to the heart of the issue right here. Everyone's a media critic. Stelter wants so bad to eliminate that criticism. Remember the beginning of his segment? He believes Twitter is sick and needs to be fixed. He actually equates legitimate criticism with harassment and hate speech. Now listen to Stelter chomp at the bit for change, specifically as it relates to eliminating follower counts and registering the amount of likes.
What is the timeline for re-examining how you show follower counts or the use of the like button?
This is hilarious. It's like, come on, Jack, help us out. We're floundering over there at CNN. Kitchen table journalists are eating our lunch, and we sure could use a little love right about now.
You know, we're looking and thinking about all these things right now. We've definitely had conversations about them.
But would you say, like, by the end of the year, there's going to be those fundamental changes to Twitter?
Come on, Jack. How about by the end of the year? By the end of the year, Jack. Can we do it, Jack? I sure am tired of looking bad next to blonde, college-aged conservatives who are decimating me in the ratings, Jack. Come on, you gotta help us out.
I worry about a time frame like that because we also need to take into consideration we're a small company. I mean, in comparison with our peers, we're a small company, but we have this outsized impact and I believe importance. And like
Again, what the hell is this billionaire fumbling around about? It's almost like he's cowering to Stelter in this entire conversation. None of it seems legit.
There is a lot of what's in Twitter that you would find in a public square, to use the older analogy.
You mean all the graffiti on the walls?
Well, there's part of that, but there's also really amazing open conversation, and there's the ability to walk up to anyone and strike something up. So there's positives and there's what people perceive to be negative as well.
Look, I met my wife on Twitter. I'm always going to love Twitter. But I kind of feel like it's a garden that's been overrun by weeds. Do you feel like you're the gardener, just struggling to keep up?
Listen to that again.
But I kind of feel like it's a garden that's been overrun by weeds. Do you feel like you're the gardener, just struggling to keep up?
Doggone it, there's weeds in the garden, Jack. Hint, hint, and we really need to get them out, don't we?
Is your job to make sure people are not misinformed on Twitter?
I think we need to be really thoughtful about what that means. Like what is misinformation? It gives journalists more opportunity to actually remove some of that bias and call it out for what it is. I do think it would be dangerous for a company like ours, going back to that fear point, to be arbiters of truth.
And guys, that's true, but then they hypocritically put Alex Jones in a timeout. That's where I'm going to leave this video today. Corporate media is squirming in their seats. And don't think for a second that they care about you. They want to censor the flow of information, they want to mask real statistics, they want to be the top dogs, control the narrative, set the agenda, and influence policy. And none of that will benefit us. It doesn't matter if you're left, it doesn't matter if you're right. We will not be benefited. Censorship never works in anyone's favor, unless you're one of the powers that be. Guys, I don't know how much longer my channel will be around here on YouTube. Please take a minute and sign up to my email list. It's free, painless, and you'll get some cool stuff. Also, take another minute to subscribe to my decentralized, censorship-free BitChute and Steemit channels. All these links are in the description. I want you to know this, if my channel goes down, I'll still produce content for you guys through my website and through BitChute and Steemit. So make sure you stay connected through the email subscription link in the description below. Just watch the 45-second video on my website and you'll be all set. If you want to support my work on this channel, grab a shirt, snag a flashlight, or hit me up on Patreon and PayPal. I'll see you guys in the next video. Before you go, check out one of the most in-your-face, hard-hitting, conversation-starting shirt stores on the planet. Just by wearing one of these t-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, or cutoffs, and without saying a word, you can let people know that black rifles matter. You can inform the sleeping masses that fluoride is dumbing them down, that Google is a gulag-style censorship machine, that the Department of Homeland Security is merely security theater, that the NSA makes your private life their business, that the Grim Reaper supports everyone's troops, that we need to legalize freedom, that in life there are no excuses, that CNN is a communist news network, voting is the suggestion box of slaves, that 9/11 was a lie, and that all official stories should be questioned. Also, let people know we're in the middle of a full-blown sheep-volution, taxation is theft, the IRS is an immoral robbery service, cops enjoy protecting and serving the crap out of you, that the space you occupy is not a gun-free zone, and that gun-free zones are the most dangerous places on earth. Your purchase helps support more hard-hitting content on my censored channel. As of the recording of this video, I have over 90 designs. I take your requests for new designs, and I'm adding new ones every week, so check back often. The link to the store is in the description. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.